Welcome to the Men Stay Alive podcast.
Today, for another session of Men Stay Alive podcast. I have with me here a great entrepreneur who has been in his business for a while, but a better human being. And last time I promise you will be a very hot, interesting session. My guest said today is Mr. Dozy Mmobuosi. Welcome, Dozy.
Thanks to you for having me.
Okay. Before we start, as usual, like last time, we will celebrate somebody, one of our fallen heroes, our brothers. Somebody who has been fighting a good fight for a while, and he died last year, last December. This person was a good brother to me, a dear brother to me, and someone who I worked and fought alongside for a few years in the wilderness. My brother, my friend, Daniel Oniko, has gone to be with God. Daniel was a good man, and to everyone who knew him, he fought a good fight. He gave his best shot, and that's what you can ask for a man to do. His family, we are with you in prayers. He's gone to rest. He's going to be with God. And today, I ask everybody to please, for the next 1 minute, pray for my brother, for God to forgive all his faults, and I'm today testifying on his behalf of his goodness to me. I know God hears everybody. Nobody is perfect, but Daniel was good to me. It was good to me in the wilderness. It was good to me every day. And Daniel lived a life that was trying, and every day he tried to do what would please God. So please, I ask everybody to join us for 1 minute of silence for Daniel Oniko. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for that. This session, Men Stay Alive session, is something that deeply important to me, and in my journey, it's something that connects my spirituality. So if you don't mind, Dozy, before we start,
Yeah.
I'd like to take a 1 minute prayer.
Yeah, that's fine.
Again, everybody, please, in your own way, pray, and let's welcome God into this conversation. Let's bring God in. Because when you bring God into anything, that's order. When you bring God into anything, that the outcomes favors him, please God. And when God is pleased, humanity has a chance. So everybody, please, 1 minute of prayer, that what we're about to discuss today, what we're about to say today, please the Almighty, may we be able to connect. May our goals of this podcast in sharing experiences with men and our partners, women, may they hear us, may we please God, may we learn well. Amen. Amen. So, Dozy, for context, I met Dozy 2 years ago to the date. I didn't know him 4 years ago.
Yeah.
After a lot of people knew him 2 years ago. A lot of people knew him, and he's the man that when I first met him, what they said to me, this guy that tried to buy Sheffield United. I'm like, what do you call him card? Some people, it felt like a joke. And I'm like, wow, that's good. Audacious. A even though, funny enough, I heard about, we have a mutual friend in common. So I heard about your business. But again, I like to run my own business because my business is not for me.
Yeah.
So I didn't even put a face. I didn't know the name. I knew Tingo. I know about it. But I didn't put a face with it. I didn't know anything. I knew about Tingo as a company, as a group. And as in point of fact, I'll get into it over the discussion. And I didn't realize how long you've been around, right? But I'll let you first share your story of your journey.
Yeah.
Up till you joined us in the wilderness. Those of us that God has called into the wilderness to be refined.
Yes.
Please, Dozy, go ahead and introduce yourself and let them know.
Yeah. Thanks again for having me here. My name is Dozy Mmobuosi, and I have been at this business for 26 years now. Started from, formally 26 years now. Started from, producing ringtones to building very simple, basic apps to importing mobile phones, and then, of course, building an ecosystem for smallholder farmers. And of course, these days, in the last 3-4 years, I've been in artificial intelligence, I've been in healthcare, and in sports, and quite a number of things. These days, I'm also doing. I'm also launching a restaurant chain in the coming days, actually. So I've one thing we talk about is the calling. Being an entrepreneur is a calling. So I've evolved over decades from being a trader. In fact, I was a trader initially. I traded in mobile phones. I traded in all sorts. And one thing I always said to my very close friends that, look, any idiot can, forgive my French, any idiot can import mobile phones and sell. Yes, you make a great profit, but what else? Why not build something? And that journey has, I've experienced all sorts, laughters, joy, a lot of sorrow, pains, shed tears, bled, and it's been an interesting journey. I can't say I would wish the kind of journey I've been through on my friends or people out there. It's worth experiencing it, but it's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone, right?
So, you and I, of course, we know how we met. We met on a transaction, and me being an optimistic person, that's how entrepreneurs are. Very optimistic. Yeah, it didn't work, but we held on to our friendship because we became that. And so the last 2 years also shaped me. I'm a different person. In fact, within the last 2 years, 1 year out of the 2 years, I have, in fact, I was in self-denial initially. I didn't know that this was going to be a bit long. And lawyers from all over the world were telling me, look, we'll fight this, we can win this. But for me, it wasn't about winning. I have said to so many people that, look, for my failures, for my successes, I take responsibility.
Good.
So I own it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I fucked up, and I moved on. Fucked up in.
Did you really?
Well, so fucking up is relative.
Good.
So fucked up in the sense that you might have hired people who do not believe in the vision. I stayed away from Nigeria for almost a decade, and in fact, people don't even know me. I chose to stay that quiet. In fact, the day the whole world heard of me was the day the Times of London leaked or published. I was going to say leaked, published the fact that I had invested in Sheffield United, and I was shocked because that was a leak. The arrangement I had with Prince Abdullah and which we signed was confidentiality. But I knew that my world was going to change once I made that move. The second I took ownership. But of course, that didn't happen. My world changed. My name was all over from the parliament in England to everywhere. And I was sad for a moment But I said, look, I didn't make that move for myself. It was for Nigeria. It was for the black race. It was for Africa. It was also for Tingo.
So interesting. I'm talking about that. So a lot of people call optimism delusions, right? A lot of people call optimism delusion. A lot of people don't realize that when you are called, there's some restlessness that will bring your soul, that yearning.
Yeah.
So that's why I tell people that entrepreneurship is not business.
It's not.
They are businessmen and entrepreneurs.
And they are traders.
And they're traders. And either way you choose is okay.
Yeah, of course.
I have no problem if you're a trader.
Yeah.
And if you're a trader, know that you're a trader and understand that and pick your lane.
Yeah.
And don't envy an entrepreneur because you have different approaches to do enterprise. A businessman is transactional. He sees an opportunity, he goes for it, exploits it, and he has a life. An entrepreneur really has no life beyond that calling.
Yeah.
And that calling is more than money. But we live in a world where everybody sees money alone.
Yeah.
But you see more than money. And the journey of entrepreneurship, money will come.
Yeah.
But money brings along with it all sorts of demons, does it not?
Absolutely.
So there you were, trying to buy Sheffield United. Let me the first Nigerian to buy a top.
In fact, my investment took them to the Premier League.
To the Premier League.
Yeah.
So, and you were doing that because of your calling.
Yeah.
And that announced you. I like to say this, right? The same way Goliath announced David. Sheffield announced you. You already had successes. You're already blessed, right? You see, when you're anointed, you have to wait for the announcement before the appointment. And in each stage between anointing, announcement, and appointment is a wilderness season.
Yeah.
So, and we always, and I don't like to always think that life has to be linear. It is that's never been linear.
Never.
It will never be linear. Between anointed and announcement, David had to stay in the Bible, had to stay almost in the palace playing for Saul.
Yes.
The person that was meant to replace, right? Playing, and until the opportunity to slay Goliath.
Yeah.
Announced him.
Yeah.
He also was Sheffield. At that point in time, when you did that deal, you were listed on New York Stock Exchange.
On the Nasdaq Stock Exchange.
Nasdaq.
Yes.
At what valuation were you listed at?
It was north of $3 billion.
North of $3 billion. So you already what a lot of people call successful.
Yeah.
And so let me wonder, what's looking for again? Why is it not just comfortable? Just be okay, be quiet. But it was not about the money, was it? So when your Goliath Sheffield, which was okay, I can go for this. What happened from then on?
So it's
an announcement. So you announced the world, and you got into Premier League.
In fact, the morning I suspected something was up, I saw a message from the editor of Bloomberg very early in the morning. Said, "Oh, something is happening. I think you might know who this person is. We hear a Nigerian is about to buy Sheffield United." Then the Times also messaged, and I said, "Look, I don't know what you guys are talking about." I kept it quiet, and I took my wife on a date that were somewhere in Chelsea. It was a Japanese restaurant, and then I saw people staring at me, and then I started seeing my phone. My phones were buzzing. I saw I had to pick my then CEO's call, Darren Mercer. And I said, shit. He said, Dozy, what's going on? I thought this was confidential. But anyways, we have to deal with it. The news is now everywhere. Of course, they knew what I was up to. And, I had to start dealing with, I refuse to impress people. And I still refuse to impress anybody.
Fantastic.
So, people have said Dozy lives on the edge all the time. So that's also one thing about being an entrepreneur. You're constantly on the edge.
You have to be on the edge. It's not for if you want safety, it's not for you.
I grew up, so poverty, wealth, riches, or whatever is a state of mind.
Correct.
I grew up knowing where I was headed, but I had to demystify money. I had to demystify all these other bits, and I knew that look, this calling is real, and whatever that comes along, I'll deal with it. So post Sheffield, I ended up going to sit with people I didn't even want to. I wasn't really bothered. I never wanted to sit with them to talk about, because I can't impress anyone. I just said, look, Africans are always playing football. Why can't we own it?
Correct.
So I dared to make that move. I made the move, and it cost me all sorts of troubles. Till date, of course, people doubted. I had issues ordinary people dealt with. I've never lived like an ordinary person for many years, but I also had bills that I had forgotten, or one of my companies had forgotten to pay.
Okay.
In England, that there can be parking tickets, there are CCJs that you don't even know. I didn't have the right team to manage me personally. But what then happened was me trying to set up a family office structure that could then begin to manage my affairs properly. That's how I now started managing. I had set up a family office, but they were just focused on business, but no one was, dealing with me personally.
Correct.
So I had to now begin to structure that, and I just started dealing with all the mess. Doubts came because I hadn't come to Nigeria for, at that time, 7 years. I was
Which year was this?
This was in 2020, January of 2023.
Okay.
So people that I knew here in Nigeria, we have some mutual friends. Those ones, of course, knew when I started this journey. But bad news sells very fast. People want to, paint you a certain way. And I said, look, till date, even I don't care about what people want to say.
You can't.
I don't.
That's with death.
Yeah, exactly. So
That's with death.
it doesn't bother me. All I want to do is to, God has created me here to serve a purpose.
Yes.
And that's all I'm doing here. And it doesn't mean I must go to church every morning.
Yeah.
My church is here in my heart. I do what God.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Spot on. So
yeah, your question. I know the question you asked. I know it's still going to be expanded.
Yes.
So I'm still going to.
So the Sheffield deal was late 2022.
Yeah. In fact, one afternoon, I think it was on the 19th December 2022. I had a meeting with Prince Abdullah at the Duchess, and in fact, we just shook hands. I knew they had issues. That's Sheffield United. Then, before I signed the SPA,
that's a share purchase agreement.
Yeah.
What you signed before you buy a company.
I started moving money. My lawyer said, "Look, Dozy must be crazy." HMRC was going to go for them. I said, "Look, how can I be buying a business that is going down?" They had unpaid salaries, unpaid wages. I had to start putting in money, and then once we signed the SPA, I put in more money. They needed more money, but a lot of things were wrong, and because of the pressure that was coming from the football, from the FA, that's from the EFL, asking more questions. Even my banks wrote, and we had all sorts of documents. Again, going back to me demystifying money, cash. I mean, you have assets that you can liquidate at any time, but I had put almost 10% down. There is almost no one who
10% down payment.
put cash down before you. Ordinarily, you just show that you can buy it. They do the fit and proper persons test first before you begin to move money. But because they were in trouble, I had to put that money down. So my lawyers felt like, look, let's wait and see how. So I had to slow down, and I got my banks to, provide proof of funds. So I was wondering, look, I had a stock that was liquid. I had other assets that were liquid. So why are you asking me to put down in fact, they asked me to put down 250 million pounds.
For sure, for
I was buying for 115 million, but they wanted me to put not Prince Abdullah, not Sheffield United,
EFL.
EFL.
Okay.
And I felt that was madness. So I'm going to then liquidate. I said, look, I have my deal with these guys. This is showing that I can run this team. So long as I had a going concern or going concerns, I can always. And that's what I thought, but that's not what happened.
Yeah. So adversity came calling.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't understand. So if you go to Google and you type adversity, it will tell you a setback, a misfortune, a challenge that actually creates difficult time and challenges that requires courage to overcome.
Yeah.
And presents an opportunity for personal growth. And as entrepreneurs, we go through that a lot of times.
Yeah.
But we don't realize that people will call you, you're overtrading, you do too much, you spend too much, use your lifestyle. That's when commentaries start running.
Yeah. So and it's in either locker room or in the bedroom that I ask certain questions. Like, how much is this lifestyle?
Totally.
Yeah. How much is it?
So okay, I'm being told something, right? You were doing a business. You never told anybody you were perfect.
No.
Everybody you're just human. You make mistakes. You own it already, right? When you own your mistakes, you make mistakes. A human, everybody does. God expects you to make mistakes. God expects you. So you're doing legit business. You trusted people.
Yeah. And the trust. I mean, when I said earlier on when we said that I fucked up, I mean, you don't get to understand that, until the people.
You can see.
You can see.
That's why.
Yeah.
See, I believe, and that's why even AI can tell you that adversity is an opportunity for you to learn and grow and correct something you're not wrong. You are built. I mean, I can testify to my own life as well. You were so far ahead, you thought everybody around you was with you. But it's so far off you.
Yeah.
But what that then brought was your system had to collapse.
Yeah.
Reality, as you know, it was not real.
Yeah.
Because you thought everybody was with you. You thought everybody was doing that work. But they were not with you, they were doing that work. So all of a sudden, from December 19 to January, you came to Nigeria, and then it started to the point where I call that the journey into the wilderness.
Yeah.
And that's when God wants to refine you. He wants to repurpose you.
Yeah.
He wants to refit you. There's nobody that's been great in the history of mankind that has not gone through several wildernesses, deserts in a lifetime.
Yeah.
Because deserts, that's when you know what is real in your body and what's not real. That's when the sun and the dryness brings out every impurity inside you.
Yeah.
I mean, any great man, whether in the Bible, whether in the Quran, whether in business, it's not just one wilderness.
No.
You tend to think that how many times will this guy fall down? Like, who's counting?
Exactly.
They're not counting, right? And
they won't count.
They're not counting.
Yeah.
And so they're counting your failures, but their own life, they're not counting.
Yeah.
So people watching you, the probably doing this guy like $3 billion. He made by Sheffield United. And then all of a sudden, every demon in the world came against him.
Yeah.
From within and from outside. Friends that trusted, everything. And then you realize you were all alone.
Yeah.
That alone, 99.9% of men do not survive that alone. You were in Dubai when you heard the news of what happened to you. That was when. So first was you entered into wilderness. You didn't realize.
Yeah.
You're in denial. You are entering wilderness almost in denial.
Yeah.
You don't believe it is there because you think that and because you have less memory, you survived in the past before. You can survive this. You have fight and accept and quickly respond.
Yeah.
Which is what you learn as you get higher.
Yeah, absolutely. No business school don't teach you this.
At all. You can't prepare for it.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
There's no age. It cannot come to you. So, December 19, a great opportunity. You signed it. January, it was leaked. All of a sudden, you started chasing shadows, which you thought will end very quickly.
Yeah.
But it did not end. You're 3 years into it right now.
Yeah.
Also, how you're still alive.
Okay. So, from the. So, I remember. So, now let's fast forward from January 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Madness started when the short sellers, Hindenburg, started writing their short reports, and I did not respond. But there was, of course, an investigation. I was investigated. The companies were, top law firms were hired. I was never interviewed by the regulators in America. No one asked me a single question. I was hoping for, to have my own day, for them to ask me questions before. I knew the company wasn't perfect. I even raised certain concerns that, look, we need to get to a point where we can be as good as almost perfect, and I've always been the visionary. I've never really been your day-to-day guy. I don't manage. I don't run. I'm not a CEO. In fact, I wasn't even group CEO of Tingo Group.
Interesting.
Though people thought I was.
Yes.
When the then group CEO resigned, this was when this madness started. That was during the summer of 23.
6 months out. That's July, August.
Yeah, around. Yeah. It was really very hot. I accepted to be co-CEO of the group, and then I was deep in the whole thing, trying to respond. We're being questioned. Of course, we had independent counsel. They did their work. The board, appointed them. Then I was moving about my normal life. I even was at COP28 in Dubai, 2023, where I represented Malawi. And I left Dubai, I think I was there for a while because we're also Dubai office was also taking shape. I returned home to England. I returned home I think on the 19th of December. And my lawyers were there. Some of my colleagues were there, and they said, "Look, Dozy, this is happening now. That you are being charged." So I felt like that was the end of me. And
David, that line to you, you're dead, you're gone.
Yeah. So I said, "Look, what's even really going on?" I decided to, take a few days, clear my head, and then I heard a voice, "Go home to Nigeria." So that's in December. Just by Christmas of that year, I came into Nigeria, and I sat with some of my executives. I said to them, "Look, as for me, I've resolved to build on, and my only response is to keep building."
That's all.
That
keep moving.
I can't. There are battles you can't fight. I can't possibly fight. America. That look, I'm not fighting this battle.
That's your soul. America was your soul.
I'm not fighting. You see, David kept on, running.
Yeah, it's out of all. Only God fights for you.
Yeah, only God, and God still fights for me.
He's fighting for you.
As much as I have taken ownership of
you have to.
I have to, because I'm the leader. I founded this business.
But that's your soul.
Yeah,
you're finding an institution. So I like to say, sorry to cut you. I like to say, see, when you're anointed, it's about you knowing.
Yeah.
when you're announced, a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
Before you're appointed to that thing, you have to fight an institution.
You have to.
And people think that you should always be comfortable. I don't have been comfortable where it was in the palace.
Yeah.
That's his calling. That's his purpose.
Yeah.
It was already anointed the king.
Yeah.
But you have to earn it. You have to fight. So you have to go to the wilderness.
Yeah.
13 years. 13 years. When God told you will be king, God reveals the future to you, but you must earn it.
You must earn it.
And that's why some people die before their destiny. They think that because they've seen it, Joseph saw a dream at 17. It didn't happen to him until he was 30.
Yeah.
Right? So Joseph had the whole, even the coat of many colors that instead of making them plenty clothes together, they still everything because the man Jacob not have everything together, right?
Yeah.
He had to get clothes to make many colors. He had everything and they sold him to slave everything.
Yeah.
30 years after. I mean, you must have believe, but you have to earn it.
Yeah.
Because God needs to test you.
Yeah.
That if I cannot trust you with the breaking, I can't trust you with the blessing.
Yeah.
You already built. They $1 billion. So that was David in the palace. That was in the palace, right? But you have to be tested.
Yeah.
You have to go and show that the blessings are coming. The breaking can handle it. The breaking opens everything up.
Yeah.
Everybody that you need to count on. Everything that you know about yourself, it demystifies you totally.
Totally.
You are stripped naked. Your ego disappears. Your pride disappears.
Look,
Tell me.
talking about the ego disappearance. So I landed in Nigeria and even my security man was advising me. So I had even welders, I had artisans, I had everyone disappear, advising me, oh, you would have done it this way. Why didn't you do this? So, you fucked up, some friends telling me, oh, those you fucked up, you put all of us in trouble. If I had board members saying, oh, those you put all of us in trouble, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, what can I say? My only response is I have to keep building. I'll do what I'm here to do, and that's just what it is.
That's what you have to keep doing.
Yeah, I have to keep building. I can't.
You can't keep looking backwards.
No, I can't.
That is why you lot. You can't keep looking backwards.
No.
You have to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
You have to keep building. And you know what? This point in time, because believe me, you know my story. I'm not. The whole world knows more than me. It now become a topic. That become a topic where everybody knows more than you. Like, okay, it's my story. How can you know more than me? But I'm not in this season. I don't explain myself.
No.
I'm able to engage and explain myself.
No, absolutely.
And I'm not going to beg anybody to stay.
Yeah.
Everybody lives or dies anyway. So
Yeah.
I'm afraid get used to being alone.
Yeah.
It's not loneliness, it's solitude. It's me and God. The space everyone lives, God fills. Because that's when, and let's go a bit spiritual, that's when God will ask you, because you came to Nigeria, your assets were frozen, you were charged, not convicted. People don't know the difference.
They don't know the difference between an indictment.
No.
You being charged in a civil court.
No, you're not a criminal. It's okay.
Yeah.
I don't come to become a criminal. It's okay. That's and even those that you know, they start talking willingly.
Yeah.
So your whole world was upside down. You left your family. You had to come to Nigeria to start, and you're seeing the days. After you were frozen, you are here. The people that you thought you meet here, what you thought you meet on ground, what you thought you had in Nigeria, became an illusion.
When I arrived, things were stripped. Private investments I had made, people took off. I mean, they took advantage of the whole thing. But guess what? If you drop me in the Sahara Desert, I'm still going to thrive.
You know why? You know why?
I do.
Because, exactly, God only needs you.
Yeah.
And what's in your hand?
Yeah. Yeah.
When Moses was called to go and liberate the Israelites, he said, God, who am I? I have nothing, because what's in your hand?
Yeah.
Staff. You're the same staff that became snake, or the same staff that parted
Yes.
the Red Sea.
Yes.
When Jesus Christ was preaching in the desert, and 15,000 people were hungry, and told his disciples, go and find, how can we feed 5 birds and 2 bring goats in your hand? Let's bring it.
Yeah.
God needs you to bring goats in your hand, and bring your pain to him.
Yeah.
Bring your gift to him. It's what you need is already in you.
Yeah.
Not if you don't need it, if you don't have it, you don't need it. What you need when you so you knew yourself, you knew your calling, you knew you were, it was already in you. Everybody else with you, you thought they knew you though. You have thought people that known for a long time know you. And you can't even ask yourself, am I what they say I am? Or when people ask you, is it true? You ask me, is it true? You should know. But it doesn't matter. God knows you. Everything you need to stay and thrive in wilderness.
Yes.
So can get God is banking on you, waiting for you on the other side. He's made it better on you.
Yeah.
It's already in your hand. So you came back to rebuild.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, landing Nigeria was just 100 quid in my pocket.
From 3 million pounds and then paid. Yes. So men, can you hear that? You have to stay alive. In London, like that, 100 pounds in pockets, with $1 billion. You couldn't touch anything. You have family in London, you have everything, you had a name. They had to come back home, a place I lived for 10 years, 100 pounds in his pockets. Right. That I didn't die. It's still here. It's still here. So if you lost that job, you lost that contract, going through a lot of things, you think your life will end. It will not end unless you end it. You need to make a choice. It's a choice to stay alive. Staying alive is a choice. Right.
It's a choice. So a very close friend of mine reminded, in fact, at some point, I was lonely, not with family, not with the so-called closest friends I thought I had then, who left me. In fact, so many of them blocked me on WhatsApp, blocked me across. Colleagues and friends. And
people who have done everything for
us. And I said, shit, what's going on here? I was extremely lonely. At some point, I was suicidal.
Yes, that's part of it.
But I remembered, look, I can't be selfish. I have a calling here. I have my family. I have God to serve here, in my own way. And I just simply said, you know what? Let me go around and see what I have. So because I had a couple of assets here, but of course I wasn't liquid. I had only £100. I had a healthcare business that had been run down. I had other businesses that were also run down, stripped. People had and just started taking, In fact, let me explain something. People fail to understand that. Of course, you had Tingo sponsoring all sorts of events all over, and then someone accuses Tingo of not being real. So I just said, well, that's life. All these things, all the people we were there for, except for, of course, our only client at that time, the All Farmers Association of Nigeria. You saw them attend a book launch. They even came out to say, look, Tingo has been the only business supporting us for years. No one cared to listen. They just wanted to crucify me, but I didn't care. But I'm still in business with AFAN because I knew that I could still build for them because that's an unserved market. Smallholder farmers are underserved. I must have something to sell to them. So I had to start building. I focused on my healthcare business, focused on the FMCG, partnered where I needed to partner. But again, in partnership, not everyone understands because I've never really had a partner per se, a business partner. But, what I have done, I've always built my business alone and scaled, then taken public. And, I've actually never even raised institutional money. So the news out there was, Dozy raised hundreds of millions of dollars. I was just, I never did. I didn't.
We went back to it in your hands.
Yes.
They say even in ruins, there's architecture.
Absolutely.
So the same place that people stripped and left for dead.
Yes.
You went back there.
Exactly.
Like I did. You go back to what you know.
Exactly.
To the foundations.
But exactly.
And you
I don't have my sleeves. I'm in the mud, rebuilding.
You start accepting your reality.
Exactly. AI building, where our AI radio station and our AI infrastructure is. I was there every day, 3 months, building.
So shortly, you built the first and only AI radio station in the world that is both on FM and online in the world.
Yes.
In the wilderness.
In the wilderness.
When people wrote you off, when you had no money, when you had no friends, when you were alone, when you were suicidal, you built the first in the world.
Yes.
This thing going on, your healthcare business and they were strict. You rebuilt it back.
and acquired.
And
We're now acquiring. We're expanding. Tomorrow morning, you hear the announcement. We've just acquired a dental. So and we'll keep
no money.
with no money.
You don't need money to build.
Did you know I walk around without cash? I mean,
Welcome to my world.
people say, Dozy, cash. I said, look, I don't have cash, no, but I have assets that I'm building, and I don't care about the time. I had all sorts of liquidity. I mean, thank God that I did what God expected. Build like what I did in Malawi, in other African countries too, giving back. Because as far as I'm concerned, only Africans can truly support Africa.
Correct.
We're not going to depend on America or So I love America. America is one of the greatest nations in the world. Nigeria is the greatest nation in the world. I love America. America gave me opportunity, and I'll forever be grateful to that country, and of course the United Kingdom too. But as Africans and as Nigerians, we must understand that we must support our home. We must build. We cannot depend on Bola Tinubu to do it alone. We have our own duties. We have our own responsibilities. So we must join. We must contribute towards a nation building.
Yeah. It's interesting because a lot of people don't understand that the only response God demands of you is to have faith and keep going and look out in your hand. What is giving you? When you look at one of my favorite stories, the story of the Elisha in the Bible and the woman who had a lot of debts.
Yeah.
And back then, when you have debts, they'll come and say, come and take your son.
Yeah.
You walk, pay back that debt. And she went to Elisha. I said to the my station. And Elijah said, what do you have? She said, nothing. First. Except, a small jar of oil.
Yeah.
It's enough. Mustard seed faith.
Yes.
When you are going through hard times, man, you don't forget that hard time. See, something that was revealed that I discovered. When you're going through hard time, unless God says it is over for you, and when God is over for you, you will not be alive. If you are alive, your story is not over.
It's not.
If it's one person that's persecuting you, beyond an institution, let me help you put in context. I have something I tell myself 1.2, 1.2. I tell you 1.2. 1.2 is 1.2 kg. You know what 1.2 kg is? That's if you take a human being when they die, and then cremate them, total weight of that person is 1.2 kg. This is what I heavier than the person. So if the human being that is threatening me, I have to tell that you will not survive this, you will die. I'm like 1.2 kg. It don't matter. Compared to my God, 1.2 kg. What I'm going through, put it in your mind that person that is blocking you, that person attacking you, whether it is just 1.2 kg, minimize that problem and focus on God. Because then you don't allow God to do his miracles. See, I don't understand what people understand that it can't be an epic, not a tragedy. Your story, everybody likes epic stories, great comeback stories, but great comeback epic stories without great setback still. Of course. So the great setback, the big and comeback. And once God is in working with you to have faith and to testify to his goodness. So in this your season, where you are still, by the way, you are still fighting the good fight for your business, for your name, and you're making progress, but just not say more than that. You came back to rebuild two or three institutions from scratch and still not stopping.
Even more. I mean, in fact, my wife and a few other very close friends asked me, are you keeping track of all your new businesses? And so every time I earn, putting back in. So I'm not going to buy. I mean, I think I've bought all the nice stuff. It doesn't. I've done all of that. So, if I haven't gone into a Beluti that I used to like going to. I haven't done that in 2 years. So I mean, so that can save me a lot of money.
In 2 years.
I haven't. So I now appreciate FaceTime. I speak to my kids and my wife like 20, 30 times a day. It's hard, but people don't understand. They see me smile sometimes, see me frown. Look, in fact, they can't even tell.
You show up.
Yeah.
You show up every day. You
I
show
show
up
up every
broke.
day.
You show up broken.
Yeah.
You show up everything.
Yeah.
Being laughed at.
But the show continues.
You must show up.
I must keep working. I must keep building because that's all. So I've gotten to a point where I must now continue to build legacy. So it's not it's no longer money. Money. I'm not scared of losing and making money. It always,
Multiplied it.
yeah. It's nothing.
So when men, because this today's race is some adversity. When men come to adversity, like because a lot of men are under pressure today.
Yeah.
Is it school fees? Is it house rent? Is it debt? People even think owing is a bad thing. I'm like, how is owing a bad thing? For heaven's sake, it's all you owe. You didn't kill anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
And the person want to go and write your own on social media. Go on, please. In fact, the more you want to do that to you, the better that you'll be happier because they're not costing your own they're even strengthening you.
Yeah.
So people have debts. People are worried about their potential damage, all that.
So for me, when people threaten, because every now and then I have people who threaten. So I mean, as an entrepreneur, since I came into Nigeria, I mean, I also own a football club, a professional football club. There was a time I said to the players, "Look, I'm not paying you guys anymore. You guys do not deserve to be paid. You guys do not deserve to be treated right." You know what? Some of them were betting against the team. I was spending a minimum of 140 million every 3 months to keep that club going, and these boys were betting against playing, betting against their own team.
That's
So, and then you think I'm just going to. I mean, I've been called all sorts. I mean, again, I'm unbanked. No bank is giving me money anywhere in the world. So I'm on my own. So I have to. I have to combine being that Igbo man that I am. As I'm making money, I'm putting into all these other businesses. And so people see me, although you're not liquid, but your businesses, I mean, they go to my premises, across, I have different, locations, be it the healthcare business, be it, and they say, look, these places are functional. And you claim you don't have liquidity.
You don't,
I don't need to, but these things are working. So I have just come to, I now understand that, look.
But this version of you,
yeah,
it's a different version of the other one.
It's a totally different version. Sometimes I hate it, but most times I love it. Because for me to get to the next stage, in fact, the kind of discipline I have now, I didn't have it before.
Good.
Before now, so I'm so disciplined now. I think, of course, every now and then I miss going to Prague. I miss going to, so some days ago, I was telling you, bro, I want to party in Prague. I just remembered, look, no, it's not needed. But look, I hate it sometimes, but most times I enjoy it because it's
a process.
Yeah.
I love my version. Everything about me, I love it right now.
So this version that is fearless. So people are beginning to think I'm mean, I lack emotions. So I mean, I have journalists, I have people who try to blackmail me on a daily basis. And when I tell them, look, fuck off, I don't give a shit, right? Post, I don't care. I have done nothing wrong to you as far as I'm concerned, but I mean, people hurt people. If I hurt you, I'm sorry, but it wasn't intentional. But I'm not saying more than that. Anything you want to do, be my guest. So this version of me is so fearless. A few years ago, in fact, when the Sheffield United thing started, a former CFO wanted to make quick money. In fact, before the Sheffield deal was announced, was leaked, as I call it. This guy said, "Oh, Dozy, I want to set up a business. Are you able to?" I said, "Look, tell me how much you need." think he said he wanted 40,000 pounds. I mean, he's in Nigeria here. I provided. Then in January, when he heard the news, this guy emailed me and said, "Look, I'm going to call a press conference. There are things that I know. If you don't, I give you 48 hours to give me $1 million." I said, "Really?" I just made a called my people in Nigeria. I said, "Look, I think I need to really deal with this guy." That was the first time I had any need to, report anyone for blackmail. And what's annoying is that, of course, those who must have seen my emails must have seen. I mean, this is someone who is like who felt he could just milk me. I mean, people are blackmailing practically every day. I mean, me of one time, I would just say, "Look, I don't want drama. Just sort him and let me go."
But now, now we die here. We die here.
And look, I mean, a man who has fallen to the ground. What's going to scare him again?
So you're tougher. You're not stronger. You're just tougher.
Yeah.
You're like leather. You pull you stretch.
You know how the heart bomber is.
Exactly. And that's what men should know.
Yeah.
Adversity is an opportunity for you to develop resilience.
Yeah.
To show courage, to keep moving, for growth.
Yeah.
I see now, both of us now here, we've gone through significant headwinds. You said it, suicidal thoughts. It's standard. So you have the suicidal thoughts as a man, don't think you're alone. We've all been there. Some of us have even tried your thoughts into actions that God will accept. But if you just have faith, mustard seed faith, if you just keep believing, if you just stop worrying about tomorrow, what are the challenges worrying about tomorrow? What will happen tomorrow? Today is a gift. You are in the present. It's called a present for a reason. You are in the today is a gift. Focus on day by day. Leave people and what they will say alone. Leave people who expect you to be one batch of yourself. Focus on you. Choose you. Choose you. Choose God. Choose you. Choose God daily, and focus on what's in your hand. And just keep it that. It will not look pretty. Especially the same God that gave it things fast in abundance. The same God with you in the wilderness. That's a different version of God. The same God that gave it to you when you act quickly. The same God that said, "No, this time it was slow blessings. It's manna from heaven season, not big abundance season." The same God is teaching you stuff until you focus on what lesson am I meant to learn in this season. That class, you repeat it. You will stay. Everyone has told you, God made a bet on you. So until you let God focus on what the lesson is, and know that this event, this noise that's making, this deadline, that it does not end you. It does not end you. It does not. That's what they think that thing is the end of them. No, actually, it's the birth of a version of you that if you allow it, and if you allow it, and you then become a better version of yourself, that seasons and that shifts. Things shift. Men do the small things. It's taking this man 2 years. You got to 2 years. 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years.
2 years ago. And to go back to scratch with £100 to rebuild, coming back, and not doing decent amount of money. Because before you say how much you're doing now, the come after you again. This is amount of, because you don't know people. People make assumptions, right? And I've learned not to even engage.
Yeah.
And you just focus on, expectations. I have no expectation and I have no expectation. I expect everything bad from people and not good from people. That way, I'm not disappointed. Two, the concept of time to me is different. I don't put time in anything.
Yeah.
Because that's what you put on that project. You have to be fluid.
Yeah.
You have to be focused. You have to keep moving.
Yes.
Otherwise, if you do not focus on, what, this has happened. You first accept your reality. You accept it, you don't deny it. Once you accept it, you own it. But let the past not own you. The event cannot, if it owns you, you stay there saying, "I made a mistake, I messed up, I shouldn't have done this." You own it, it doesn't own you. They don't define you. You define it. You take everything from it and you keep moving. You look at where you are and whatever is your hand, you keep on going. Because then magic happens. Then things happen. It's not pretty. It's not used to be. It's not Chelsea. It's not Prague. It's Lagos. It's Atiba. It is what you have that shows who you are.
Yeah.
The character selling, the discipline you have. If you let it will teach you resilience, discipline, the things that will enable you build to last. Build to last. So this version of you, I know when I first met you, I remember, I'm like, okay, interesting guy. If I know when you were with me, I would have left you. Because it's not like she was still the abundance thing. But the person thing was that this would be a lot better because I can tell you that you need to adjust and focus and realize that a wounded lion is still a lion.
It's still a lion.
Not a dog.
Yeah.
The people think that you're not a dog.
Yeah, exactly. They forget.
They forget.
Yeah,
I know as a lion. But there's one. Someone once told me what that really got me. I laughed a bit because it was something he said a living dog is better than a dead lion. I'm like, I don't agree.
You're scared of a lion that is dead.
Like that.
You can't
A living dog. So people said, no. See, that's the problem. I was never a dog.
Yeah, exactly.
So lion or not, that doesn't because I died a lion.
Yeah.
Right? It's better than a dog.
Yeah.
That living dog, no matter how big it is a dog.
Yeah.
You must know who you are.
Yeah.
As you are wounded, does not mean you're a lion. You must, and God will reveal yourself to you if you allow Him.
Yeah.
And you must all be disciplined to know. See, the thing that I've felt about losing, everything I was afraid to lose.
Yeah.
Before the wilderness came, I've lost. And I'm still here, Dozy. I feel like I look better self. Like I sound better. I like myself a lot more. You choose yourself.
Yeah.
You choose yourself. You are kind to yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're not kind to yourself. I don't bother about people's opinion about you. And people should say, don't say the same thing. Whatever testimony
It doesn't matter.
I know who I am right now. I know what I've gone through. Nobody knows what you have gone through. Nobody knows your story. And the fact that, you are still standing.
Yes.
You are doing all this. You are doing all this. You are still, you are learning how to higher rights. To bring rights.
Yeah.
The things that you did not do before. And that you show up every day.
Yes.
I mean, you and I laugh about the things I've gone through that people cannot understand.
No.
And I'm like, well, I see that an opportunity to know myself better. Being at the valley shows you a lot about the mountain.
Yes.
That you don't see on the top.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get both. And you know that it's nothing is for as long as you have breath, nothing is permanent.
Yeah.
You learn to not let your wins define you. When you win, you're humble. When you lose, you're miserable.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything changes.
Yeah.
Life happens. And that's what you get to happen to you if you take the lesson of an adversity.
Yeah.
And as you're doing.
Yeah. That's the only way to win. That's the only way to win. What people call wins, those are, I am winning now. I trust in God. I have surrendered to Him.
Surrender.
So in fact, sometimes as I'm still human, so I ask myself, so how am I going to deal with some of these things happening tomorrow? But I just say, look, God is going to deal with it.
That's it.
I walk behind the scenes, but God is going to get
He's the one. It's the world.
Yeah, there is
your best plans are nothing.
I'm nothing exactly. So I have surrendered.
Your best plans.
I do my own best. I have taken responsibility for the past and even for today. I'm responsible for all that I do in my businesses, making sure that, in fact, talking about business again, I am beginning to learn to properly institutionalize my businesses. So whether I'm around or not, these things are supposed to keep running because these are legacies that I'm building, So that's the phase where I am right now, where those fuck ups, because I was in La La Land.
Yeah.
And these people were eating me raw. I didn't even know they were eating me. How on earth an announcement is made today, tomorrow they're all gone in less than 24 hours. I mean, the biggest names. Well, I'm going to publicly say thank you to a few of my friends that I feel, not I know they didn't listen to the noise, so I was dialing my phones, dialing my contacts, 99% were not connected. I mean, the so-called, solid guys that, the so-called heavy hitters and all those in London and in New York and wherever, only a few picked. So one person that I always say, Akon, so I called, I won't mention a few, I've mentioned a few, but I mean, I'll say this publicly because he did, he picked my call. I said, oh, brother, I've been looking for, I hope you're well. Do not let the noise distract you.
That's Akon.
Yes. I said, bro, I'm really down. I mean, that's a friend who has supported me spiritually, morally, even financially, doing certain projects together. And I mean, people, in fact, there are people who I invested in. They even turned back and said, oh, those you didn't invest in.
Totally. I'm telling you.
No.
The amnesia is unbelievable.
They said no.
The amnesia is interesting. Yes, the amnesia is interesting.
One person I gave a loan to said, look, Dozy, I mean, the whole world thinks you're a funny guy. That was what he said.
I've been there.
I said, okay. No trouble.
You choose your battles.
Yeah, exactly.
You choose your battles. That's better for another day.
Yeah.
Yep, your mission right now is still alive.
I'm even interested. So what is money? So I'm not going to people very close to me, we discuss about in fact, there's a very good friend of mine that I call Egmo. I invested in his business. But I mean, that friendship is supposed to matter more to me.
Yeah.
I was breaking. People said, oh, in Nigeria, I was say, oh, use EFCC, use police, harass them, you go bring the money out. I said, but no, that's someone, we've had tea together at court back. I mean, he's my friend. Yes, if things happen, so if I made that mistake of, listening,
No.
and then today, but I mean, like, I was upset at some point, but I mean, I called him on New Year's Day. I go, I don't care how much is money. Am I now going to lose relationships because someone owes me $2 million here, $1 million here, or whatever the amount is? I won't do that. So this version, where I don't give a shit about how much I have lost, so I can.
Or who you have lost.
Or who I have lost. I mean, those I have lost, they were not my friends
in the first place.
So
you realize that now.
Exactly. So, and if I look at myself, I mean, I've been the one building. They were not building. They were just subs. They were just there, making the noise, not doing the actual work.
I'm happy. I'm happy that I was able to get you on this show. And I'm happy that you were able to, because I know that a lot of things cannot say as well. But I'm maybe going to share a few things because, listen, like we were talking just before we started this show, people will believe or not.
Yeah.
People are going to call you names anyway.
Of course.
People are going to doubt you anyway.
Yep.
And like you said, like I said to you, I say, this version of yourself is discipline. People say, your business is not your opinion is not your business.
It's not my business. I don't give a shit.
No, your business is your business.
Yeah.
Whoever they are. And truly, if anybody wants to genuinely know the real you, the door is open.
Absolutely.
But because they want to stay with the real you and use all your faults to define you.
I'm human.
Totally.
I'm sure I'm still going to make mistakes, So
that's wrong.
Anyone who expects a Dozy that cannot make mistakes, he should create an Android AI version of me that is a zombie that can just move around. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to unintentionally hurt people. People are going to feel hurt by my actions. It's standard. It's life. I also get hurt by people.
Yes, right?
Why
you cannot? Why don't you exactly?
Yeah. So, but I own up. I apologize to people when I realize that I've hurt them. So, for instance, people till now blame me for still being in touch with hundreds or even a few thousands of Tingo Group shareholders. That, by the way, I didn't ask to buy shares of Tingo, but because they believed in our journey, in our story, I have kept my doors open. Some of them have become very great friends. In this,
it's always funny, the people that see, God always sends people to you that you never realize that we're actually good people.
Exactly.
So when people leave, God sends people that you need to you.
Exactly. And he has done that. So like some shareholders, I have shareholders that I've actually never met face to face. We call each other brothers. And because they've been like my brothers, saying, Dozy, I know you didn't do this, but I say to them, look, it's not about whether I did anything or not. I take responsibility.
Yes.
I feel bad that this has happened and you've lost investments.
You've said you've not.
And I want to make it up to you guys. On my journey, I'm going to make sure that everyone is made whole. I will do everything possible.
In this lifetime, I will make sure everything is made. Yeah. And you know what? Even if they don't believe you, I don't need to believe me.
Exactly.
It's my decision.
Exactly.
Do what I'm going to do. And on this journey, everybody will lose a penny.
Exactly.
Because it's not about you, it's about my money.
So, people say, oh, Dozy, why not just settle your own issues? Why are you still why are you trying to carry these shareholders? And I'm saying, look, you think I'll then leave the US capital market and then I go to another market, and shareholders were hurt. Again, I was the leader of this business, so I should take responsibility.
So your testimony of God in this, your desert without experience is what?
God is real. I have experienced hopelessness. I have cried
several times.
I have prayed, and I still pray. I pray every day, not once in a day. I pray. I know that
that's the truth. Prayer is the truth, guys. Prayer is the truth.
God is real, and I'm Roman Catholic. I always say this prayer every morning. God, look not on my sins, but the faith I have in you. I believe so much in God and I'm saying this openly. I don't give a shit what anyone thinks anywhere. God is real. That is all I can say. Because
and it comes true.
Yeah, he does. It comes
true.
God alone can save me. God alone.
God,
please save me that I'm alive here this night. I give that only to God.
Amazing. So, men, this is a story that you've heard. And it's an evolving story. It's still here. Pain is real. You can hear it, or you can't. Then do that. He has not seen his family for years. He's got to come and rebuild from £3 billion, $3 on the pounds pocket. Friends, partners, they've all left. And I know for a fact. But every day, he's still praying and showing up. He's not measuring himself by the money he's lost. What is lost is gone. He's measuring himself by the progress he's making, daily progress. But when you compound over time, it becomes major shift. So when you see him in the tree, like, wow, this guy is back again. It was not magic.
Yeah.
It was hard work and God's blessing. It was him also going through fire and realizing this is where I should improve. And I'll keep improving. So whatever it is you're going through, what it is, that thing is just noise. It's painful. Pain is uncomfortable. Understood. But uncomfortable doesn't mean it's bad for you. No, growth comes when you have pain, when you are stretched. Stretching is uncomfortable. But you have to be stretched to go. So because uncomfortable doesn't mean face it. Tomorrow will come. Don't die for tomorrow. Don't let that thing, whatever it is, whether it is a threat of to be locked up, whether it's a threat to be shot, whatever it is noise. Because God is the owner of your life. Is the only one that determines your destiny. And he has destined you He created you for his purpose. God does not make mistake. And if you have not fulfilled that purpose, God will take your life.
Yeah.
You can kill yourself before your destiny, though, by doing things that then that's your destiny. But God created everybody. Everybody is a masterpiece created by God for a purpose. God created you for that purpose. Until your purpose is fulfilled on this earth, God will not take your life. It is written. So untimely death is not of God. It's of your choosing. Free will exists. You can how you respond to adversity. Do you take it to God or you try and do it yourself? Because if you try to do it yourself, then you think you can act like God and God allows you free will. But if you take it to God and you stay with God, will things hurt you? Yes, you can get arrested, you can get locked up, you have no money, you lose your friends, lose your family. Yes, and that's painful. But God will give you beauty for ashes. You find streams in the river. You find grassland in deserts. The God that I serve has never failed anybody in the history of mankind. Has never failed me as well. What is the evidence that is going to fail you watching here? Stay with God. Believe in Him. Pray. Do your part too. What's your part? Master seed faith. Showing up. Knowing that your story is not over. Reaffirming it yourself. Start your day in the morning with time with God. A lot of us start our day and just jump up on the phone to start working. No. First, put God forward in the morning. Every day, put Him forward. Tell Him how you want your day to be. Put your day in His hand. Put Him there, and in the night, go back and thank you for the day. Gratitude is an attitude. You choose your attitude of gratitude every day. And you show up for every day. Every small thing, you are grateful for it. If you focus on what you have, not what you want, if you are grateful for every single thing, there are even breathing alone, be grateful because life is a gift. Do not waste it. Men, stay alive. Thank you for listening to us today. Hope to see you very soon in March. I have another great guest coming up in March. We will tell you that adversity is just noise. It's a chance for you to become a better person. Thank you, Dozy. Thank you for coming.
Thanks.
Hope you enjoyed yourself today.
Thanks for having me.
Any last minute words?
I'm only going to say men and women and even kids these days. I just want everyone to stay alive.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.